Hey YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. So this is my week 1 weight loss journey video, and if you saw my kind of like intro video, you know that I'm trying to change my body composition, lose fat, and just overall be healthier. So the ways that I plan on doing that is following a plant-based diet, food prepping every week, doing at least one activity 5 days out of the week, and just there's some other factors that I also want to get into later in this video. So let me give you a recap of this week. This week went really well. It went better than I expected it to go, and yeah, I think it went super well. So the way that these videos are going to go, I am going to talk about how my previous week went. Then I am going to talk about, the successes of that week, the things that I want to improve on the upcoming week, and my goals for the upcoming week. So that's how these videos are going to go, and then I'm going to show my food prep as well as my progress pictures. So if you have any questions, or if there's anything that any tips or tricks that maybe you can share, that would be wonderful. Feel free to leave it in the comments. Also, be sure to subscribe to this channel so that you can keep up with my journey, and also turn on the notification bell, and that will let you know every time that I upload. It's looking like I'm recording on Sundays. I recorded last Sunday. I'm recording this Sunday, so hopefully that will be the rhythm going forward. I'm going to turn on my light to kind of get a little bit more lighting in here. So it's kind of dark where I'm recording. My roommate likes to have the curtains closed, so it makes this area super dark. So I'm trying my best to get as much light as possible. Also, last time I recorded at night, so that didn't help things. So I'm hoping this is looking a little bit better. So anyway, how did last week go? Last week was better than I expected. Like I said, I stuck to my food, my eating, and everything like that. I ate my prepped meals every day. I worked out every day. So Monday I went to the 9 round, and I went to 9 round on Monday, Thursday, and Friday, which was really great. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday I went to the YMCA and I got on the elliptical, because those two I did want to walk, but those 2 days it was just really cold, and so I just got on the elliptical at the YMCA, and that worked fine for me. One of the things that I didn't get to do last week was to work on my yoga practice. So that's one thing I want to try to start incorporating more going forward. Like I said, I teach yoga, but my personal yoga practice, I want to be a little bit better with getting that going. So maybe I can kind of record that and show you that. I didn't really get much footage of my activities this week. I really just wanted to concentrate on doing it and getting there. I didn't want any kind of distractions. I did record a little clip of me at 9 round. It wasn't the best clip. The lighting wasn't the best, but I can insert it here. And because if you didn't record it, it didn't happen, right? what ifs. Anyway, so and then what so that was what went well. I was consistent with my eating, and I worked out, and I, did really well. And also, one thing that I didn't mention last week that I did was I laid out all my clothes for the week. So that's one thing that I did as well. So I laid out all my clothes. I did that this week. I also food prep. Food prep this week was about 30 minutes because, like I said, I cooked for 2 weeks straight. I cook enough for 2 weeks. So this week wasn't that bad because all I had to do was make a few adjustments, and you'll hear the adjustments that I made when I go through my food prep for the week. So the other thing that so what didn't go as well? Well, girl, I I dehydrated myself. I did not drink enough water. I try to get more water in, but I just did not get, I don't think I got enough. So I'm going to concentrate next week on getting a little bit more water in. So yeah, so I'm actually drinking water right now. So that is what I'm going to try to do. So I'm trying to get a little bit more water in next week. The other thing that I want to concentrate on next week is getting better sleep. It was so, I don't know why, but my sleep was just not the best. I did not get good sleep. So yeah, I was like, trying to get at least 8 hours. Your girl is old. Okay, so I need to get my 8 hours of sleep. And so, what I'm gonna do is just try to get to bed on time, turn my TV off, put my phone away, and just put away any possible distractions to get some better sleep because these bags up under these eyes, child, no, I can't do it. So yeah, I'm definitely going to get a little bit more sleep next week. So the goals for next week are going to be continuing to do what I did. So I'm gonna do at least 5 activities. I'm not gonna worry too much about my yoga practice. If I get it in, I get it in. If not, I'm not too worried about that as long as I get my 5 activities in next week. I teach yoga as well, so I kind of am, I can kind of work on my practice in that way. And in terms of my water, I'm just going to have, I'll put a picture of my water jug. I'm just gonna have it around, and and just try to drink about it. Drink at I don't know why I can't talk to it. Blech. Just try to drink more of that water and have it on hand, and really try to make sure that I'm more hydrated. And then the last thing that I'm going to make sure that I do next week is sleep, get better sleep. So in terms of sleep, I'm on the East Coast, and like I said, I work California time. So when I work, my working hours are from 12 to 9. So essentially, I have to get to bed basically right after I get off work. So what I'm gonna do next week is my last week of my like winter break. I teach at a college, yoga at a college. So I work my full-time job, but then also part-time I work at a college. And that class is that I teach is at 8 o'clock. So this upcoming week is going to be my last week. So I'll probably be up until around like 12. I'll go to bed at 12, get up at 8, do whatever activity I have to do, and then get ready for work and all that stuff. So when I start back teaching, I will be going to bed around 10 o'clock. So really I only have an hour after I get off of work to kind of decompress and get my life together, and then I'm off to bed at 10. Then I will get up at 6 a.m. to either work out, work on my yoga practice, and go ahead and go off to my class. So that's the plan. I really, really want to stick to it. And yeah, so that's the plan. So this week is going to be my two biggest goals is going to get better sleep and drink more water and continue what I did last week. 5 activities and sticking to my plan. What I did on the weekend, I didn't really take footage of it, but I'll just tell you what I do. What I do on the weekends is, or what I'm doing or planning on doing on the weekends, is that I will basically eat whatever's left over from my food. So even though I make enough food for 2 weeks, I always have stuff that's left over. So I just kind of put stuff together for the weekend because, I have a little bit more time. I can kind of, think about it, and I experiment on the weekend. And sometimes I come up with stuff, or I try things that I'm like, oh, I want to incorporate that in a future food prep. So I try to keep it plant-based, whole foods on the weekends. I may have one cheat meal this week and possibly next week. I'm not gonna have a cheat meal. And what I mean by a cheat meal is basically having vegan junk food. We have this vegan soul food place where I live, and yeah, I have to go there on special occasions. But yeah, everything is deep fried and oils, and just, it's not whole food plant based, but it is delicious. So I will treat myself to something like that once in a while, most likely on the weekends. But for now, I'm just going to try to stick to my whole foods plant-based diet, and even on the weekends, and and just try to, I just really kind of want to prove to myself, me personally, and for me to stick to something, I have to have proof positive that I'm gonna stick to it before I start trying to add little things. So little goals, incremental goals here and there, and then keep it going from there. So yeah, so to recap, my goals for next week: better sleep, more water, and continue to do what I did last week. And yeah, that's it. So the next clip that you're gonna see is gonna be my food prep for the week, and also my progress pictures. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. And if you are trying to lose fat or change your body composition, or if you have any type of goals that you're trying to achieve, leave it in the comments below, and leave your tips in the comments below, and I would love to discuss that with you. And yeah, see you in the next video. Bye. All right, so here's my food prep for the week. As you can see, it's the same menu I had last week, only it's in reverse. So whatever I had 3 servings of last week, I only have 2. And whatever I had 2 servings of last week, now this week I'm going to have 3. There are a few changes that I made to the menu for the week, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same. So starting with my breakfast, I'm having the same sweet potato and chard, and sausage with spinach and peppers and rice. I added rice this time, so I needed a little bit more slow burning carbs. I just felt a little bit hungry and just couldn't really concentrate, so I added some slow burning carbs to help that. And the slow burning carb that I added to my sweet potato is the granola that I made. And I will insert a picture of how the sweet potato looks with my almond butter and my granola, and how I assemble that. The other change that I made, I'm still having apples and blueberries. However, the apples are, I didn't cut them up, and the blueberries, I just bagged them up, so they're not mixed together. What happened was I had them cut up. I put half the batch in for last week and half the batch in for this week. However, I put lemon juice in there to make it from going bad, to make it last longer, and it still didn't last. So I'm just doing the whole apple, and I got my blueberries bagged up. And then moving on, we have my salads. So again, 5 containers of greens, and then I have my salad toppings. Same thing from last week. This time it's 3 servings of the refried beans, the corn, and the salsa, and then 2 servings of the chickpeas with the tomatoes and the cucumbers. Now this worked out pretty well. I did put it in the freezer, and what I did to make it last longer is I added apple cider vinegar, and that's usually what I do with like cucumbers, because cucumbers do not last long in the freezer. So I basically kind of pickle them to make sure that they last a little bit longer. And then the same dressing from last week, fat-free balsamic vinaigrette from Trader Joe's. And then in addition to this week, I made my lunch a little bit bigger. Last week I felt like I was a little bit more hungry, so I added carrots and celery to my meals, especially to my lunch. And I also bought some sourdough pretzels, Sydney sourdough pretzels. I'll insert a picture. But yeah, I bought those, and so whenever I got a little peckish, a little hungry, I added that. You had these and a pretzel, or just had this, and it worked out really good. Celery is really good for. I know a lot of people like to drink celery juice and say it's really cleansing. I want to keep the fiber, so I eat it all. And then last but not least, my dinner was the spaghetti with the meat sauce. Same spaghetti and meat sauce. These were in the freezer last week, and now they're in the refrigerator this week. And then same for the stir fry veggies with the tofu and edamame with rice. They were in the freezer last week. This week they're in the refrigerator. And last week I had 2 servings. This week it's going to be 3. Last week I had 2 servings of the stir fry. This week it's going to be 2. And then last but not least, for dessert, I will be having a Laura bar. So the Laura bar, I had the mint chip brownie, pecan pie, banana chocolate chip, lemon, and the chocolate chip cookie dough. It would probably save me a lot of money. I could probably make, some sort of dessert, but I like these. I like the ingredients. They're fresh. They're easy to pronounce, and I actually keep these in the refrigerator, and they last a little bit longer. Right now they're about $1 each at my local Earth Fair, and so it's just easier and just more convenient for me. So this is my food prep going into this week, and yeah, so pretty much I have the same menu for 2 weeks straight, and then I switch it up. So that's my food prep.